One evening in 1985, many Czechoslovakian families argued about whether to turn on a lamp now or wait for 30 more seconds. Why? And one more time. One evening in 1985, many Czechoslovakian families argued about whether to turn on a lamp now or wait for 30 seconds. Why?
My first thought is oh, never mind. I guess I didn't have one. Sorry. I swore I had a thought lined up. I guess not.
Happens to all of us.
The power grid switches to something, and it's like if you start earlier at this time, you get like grandfathered into like a lower rate or something like that. My second thought was like a New Year's thing, you know. And
my thought was Christmas. Yeah,
some holiday in which the threshold of the 30 seconds.
But it was only in one specific year. It's not something that everybody's arguing about every single year. So there was something particular about
good point,
this
Caroline.
year.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like, so this reminds me, it's making me think of TV pickup in the UK, you know, during the like 90s, late 90s, early noughties, when everyone would go and during the like advertisement breaks or halftime of a football game, go and turn on their kettles and it would overload the kind of energy system.
Yeah.
So if that, maybe there was some kind of like really big football match on in Czechoslovakia or like some kind of world event happening, and if they turned on their lamps, then it would turn off their TVs or something because it was overloading the power grid if everyone was having their lights on at the same time.
Keep thinking along those lines. TV pickups aren't much of a thing in the UK anymore because obviously streaming and there's 100,000 channels. But yeah, there still is a person, as far as I know, in the National Grid Control Centre whose job it is to call up the BBC and check when programmes will be ending and just prepare, you know, or to watch the football match to see if it goes into overtime. And if it does, just change the plans for when the power plants go on and off.
Could this be
What a fun job.
Could this be a way to signal a vote through the power grid output? Stay with me. It's American Idol, and you want to vote for one of two contestants. And so you turn on the power grid, you check, because this is before cell phones, you check if the power grid spikes during this time or during a different time, and you vote based on the time at which you turn the lamp on.
Yeah, but it's Eurovision.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be, knowing Eurovision.
Although I don't think Eurovision had public voting at this time. So
it would have been the juries back then,
Yeah.
but Tom, you've basically nailed it.
Oh wow.
You're absolutely
kidding
right.
me?
Yes. This was a TV sitcom called, and I'm translating here, The Troubles of Chef Svatopluk. What might have been going on that required all this shenanigans?
It was like a wedding ceremony or something, and it was like the bride is going to say "I do" or run off, and you have to like cast your vote.
Yeah, exactly right. It was an interactive story. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the wedding. I can't tell you exactly what the plot was, but there were forking plot branches in this sitcom, and the audience could vote for them by waiting to turn on or off their lights at the right time.
Oh my God, that's so clever.
That's such an amazing thing to do. That's lovely.
Yep. Producers asked the audience to turn off all unnecessary electronic devices, and then the head of the Czechoslovak State Energy Dispatch was tasked with monitoring the country's energy consumption and would make the call of whether to go or not go on various plot devices.
That's so cool. I love the idea that these days, like Game of Thrones, going to like the National Energy Department and be like, hey, we have this idea. Is this okay if we really quickly? That's so clever. That's so... I got there because I was like, what would families argue about? I was like, it would be this.
There was one other similar thing they did during a different episode, which involved a TV camera rather than calling up the energy board. What might they have done?
Could they like look out at the city and see how many lights were turned on?
Oh.
Yep. They pointed the camera at an area of Prague and said, turn your lights on, turn your lights off. We will measure that and go whichever
Wow.
way.
Beautiful.
It was a bit of a gimmick because both options would eventually resolve to the same storyline.
Annoying.
Can we use the power grid for a thing that will eventually not matter at all? Yeah, it's such a... Oh, that's so great.
Yes, this is Czechoslovakian TV in 1985 who asked the audience to turn on or off their lights en masse to vote on which way the show would go. The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.